Hi everybody, welcome back. So today's reading session is actually a reading comprehension text focusing on answering questions that are called words in context questions. So they're a specific type of question that you see quite a lot in comprehension papers, particularly in Year 6, which is asking you to focus mainly on the words, why they have been used, and other words that mean similar things. So in this one we're going to look at The Mystery of the Colour Thief, which is a fantastic book. We're just going to look at a little snippet from that text. So here's the first extract. Have a read, pause the screen, and once you're done press play, and we'll go through some of the key vocabulary in here that may have caused you to struggle a little bit. Okay, so there's some of the words that I've picked out. So the first word is smudge. So if you have a look at the image that I've put up at the side, so if you imagine that is shavings from the top of your pencil, to smudge is to kind of mix together and blend those things. You might sometimes smudge your writing when you're doing it on a piece of paper with pen and pencil. The next word picked out is luned. So this is where something leans over the top of something else. So if you have a look at the picture that's on your screen now, you can see that there is a shadow looming over the top. So usually something bigger or taller that towers over the top of something else. The next word that I've picked out is eerie, but the sound bounced off my ears in eerie echoes. So if something is eerie, it's creepy or scary or sinister. So you'd quite often use or find that word in stories that have built up suspense. The next one that I've picked out is not a word, it's actually a collection of words. Seeped through the wooden slats of my blinds. So slats of blinds are like the picture that's just appeared. It just means the gaps in between the pieces of wood or plastic that have been used to make up the blinds. So the next word that I've picked out is pavement. So pavement is the part that runs alongside the road that pedestrians walk on. So the bit where cars are not allowed to go. Americans refer to it as a sidewalk. So it's literally just that piece of concrete that runs down the side, as you can see on the picture. The next word is sink. So hit the pavement in sync. So sync is a shortened version of the word synchronise, which means to do something at the same time as something else. So as you can see, these two people here that are on your screen are dancing in sync because they're doing the same thing at the same time. The next word is charcoal. Now, charcoal is actually a mineral, it's a kind of rock. We use charcoal quite a lot to use as writing, or you might know it referred to as coal. So it's usually a dark black colour. So as you can see, there's a lot of that repeated imagery of greys and dark blacks that are appearing in our story. And the last one is slouchy. So crowds of sixth formers with their slouchy rucksacks. So what that's doing is it's describing the rucksack on their back. So as you can see, this girl here, she's only got it on one shoulder and it's not quite tight on her back. That's what slouching is referring to in this part of the text. If I said that you were slouching in your chair, it would mean that you were probably sat quite low down on it, might even be leaning a little bit on your chair. So slouchy means to not look proper, it's not being used correctly or worn correctly. So here are your questions to have a go at. There's 2 here, 2 on the next one, and then 2 after that, so 6 in total. Not massively big questions. So pause the screen, have a go, press play, wait for the next ones to come up, and then once you've had a go at doing all 6, we'll go through the answers. Time to go through the answers. Number 1. So question number 1. The sound bounced off my ears in eerie echoes. Which word has the closest meaning to eerie? Tick 1. Now, for this question, they will always pick the word in the sentence that they think that you will not know the meaning of. Now, what you have to do is you actually have to use the rest of the sentence in order to help you make an educated guess as to what that word means, which is why it's called word in context. You're using the context of the sentence, so the rest of the sentence, to help. Now, we did talk about the word eerie earlier on, so we should know what the meaning of that is, but you could have continued to read into that paragraph to get a feeling of what it was describing. So the word that you would have picked here was haunting, because none of the other words would work if you replaced eerie with those words in the sentence. Number 2. In the paragraph, I ran and ran until I reached. Identify the word which suggests that the crowd had been there before. Now, that doesn't mean that the word is going to be in the sentence that you've been given there. It means that it could be in the whole paragraph. And when it's asking you to suggest that the crowd has been there before, it means that this is something that's happened more than once. So we were looking for the word in the text that suggests that that thing happening is a regular occurrence. So the word that I have picked out is usual. It is a usual thing that happens, which means it happens more than once or over and over again. In meaning. Number 3. Clusters of people huddled at the bus stop. Which word is closest in meaning to huddled? So again, you have to think of what that is actually describing to you. So clusters of people to me describes a big group of people, and we know that the weather wasn't particularly very nice, so huddling at the bus stop means that they were joining together, they were squishing in together to protect themselves from the weather. So scattered wouldn't work because that means obviously spread out. Colluded wouldn't work. Chattered wouldn't work. And the only reason that that has been put there is to try and trick you into doing that. Because just because the people were huddled at the bus stop doesn't mean that they weren't chatting or were chatting, but it isn't linked to the word that we are looking at, because huddled doesn't mean the same as chattered. It doesn't mean that they would not be doing it, but it's not what that word means. So the last word there is nestled, which is the right answer. Describe what before. Look through the paragraph beginning, I broke into a run. Choose 2 words which describe what the houses looked like as she ran past them. So for this, straight away, there's no way you'd remember that off the top of your head, so you would go back to the text, which I hope you all did. And the 2 words that have been used to describe what the houses were doing and what they looked like as he ran past is shifted and swayed. Question number 5. Choose 3 adverbs to add detail to the final paragraph. Now, I can't tell you whether you've got your answers right for this one because I don't know what adverbs you've chosen. So what I'm going to do is put a list of adverbs that you could have used up onto the screen. Now, that doesn't mean that these are the only things that would work, and you might even feel that some of them wouldn't work, but these are some really good pointers to see if the ones that you've chosen might work. Remember, a lot of them that we refer to are usually lee words, so it tells you how that action was done, but there are quite a few on there for you to have a look at. And then finally, number 6, the traffic merged into a single moving stream. Which word has the closest meaning to merged? So again, you might not know what the word merged means, but you can use that sentence there to help you find that one out. So if I actually removed the word merge, the traffic into a single moving stream. Now, to me, if they're coming together into a single thing, a moving stream, that means that they're actually coming together. So they wouldn't be separating into a single. If you were separating out, you'd be going into multiple different places. Paced means how fast something is going. Joined, so we know that means to come together. We often talk about joined handwriting as being handwriting that's connected together. So joined is the word here that would work for merged. And last but not least, retreated wouldn't work because that means to move away from or to go back from something. So in that sentence there, joined is the correct answer.